Well, good evening. Last night we made up the push rod, and today after the meet, I went ahead and put it in. Well, we're going to get ready to install this stabilizer. Looks like the monocoat is coming loose on this thing here. So I can either cut it off or iron it down. I guess we'll get the iron out, iron it down. So let's get that out. What I do with it? We're gonna have to clean off this, clean off the workbench so I can measure out the wood for the turtle deck. Yo, where's my iron? I know I set it here somewhere. Should be right here, but it's not. It's in this big pile of crap somewhere. This will be done this week. We'll be off of this project and maybe get it back, get the metrics back to reality. This has not been a good project for the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed. There wasn't much going on at the isolated stunt contest today. Only had one beginner and one profile, and then the rest was speed. I do not know what I did with that stupid iron. It's not here on the bench that I can see. Not here. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up this week. Boy, that'd be so nice. This is not a cord. This is a foot pedal. Oh, but it wasn't. No, that was the heat gun that was attached to the foot pedal. Oh, but there is something attached down. It's the heat gun. Places. I don't know how the hell I got through this. All this shit on the table. That's the heat gun. Now I gotta clean this up anyway, so that's the heat gun. That normally sits there with the foot pedal. That is a Dremel. Well, I got a trim iron here I can use to put it down, I suppose. Yeah, well, we'll just get the trim iron fired up here. I'd rather use the big one, but we got to get that fixed. Just plug this in and see how it works. Yeah. Oh. Okay, we're up to, should be good. Take a minute for it to heat up here. If it even works. Oh yeah, starting to get warm. Turn it wide open. Nah, this thing don't even work. Oh, it's just gonna take a while. Too impatient. While that warms up, let me look for the heat gun again. I've got a little flag coming off of this that I need to iron down before I get this thing glued in, or even set up for glued in. What the hell happened to this? It ain't under there. Yeah, afraid it's gonna be a while on this. This thing doesn't have the smoke the iron got. Little spot here too. Yeah, we're gonna have to find the iron. This is no good. Okay, what did I do with the damn thing? Shit. Spend all my time hunting around for crap. I found it. There it is. I just brought a Super Tiger 51. I set that box on it. That's what happened to it. This will heat up quick. I guess in the meantime, I can start picking some of this stuff up. While we're waiting on that, I need to make a few wedges for the stabilizer. All my sanding tools. Get the toolbox going here. Come on out of there. There it is. Okay. Yeah, it's too long to fit in there, so cut in there. We'll get this cleaned up. Well, how many of you guys watched the it's the Squarehead 51. It's Italian, it's not a Chinese one. It's gummed up pretty good. You're gonna have to soak it in some fuel to get it loosened up. but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Put my little dangle meter here in the box. So we got this. Oh, I can feel the heat now. I don't need epoxy. Remove that and melt a hole in it. I have it all over the bench. And the glue. Now I'm not gonna hold you through the steaming of the balsa wood, because it'll take an hour for it to make some steam. But I'll lay it out and we'll lay it out and figure out how to do it, and then I'll steam it off camera, because you don't need a steam box. I'll tell you that right now. You can do it in your bathtub, which I've done many times. Thanks, Frank. You can take the wood. Don't use ammonia. Ammonia breaks down the lignin and makes the wood brittle. But use hot water right out of the tap will work just fine. And soak it in your bathtub for 10 minutes. I just got a steam box because it does a little better job than soaking it in the bathtub. Wrap it around your mold buck and then use ace bandages or bed sheets, depending what you want to do. Yeah, that ammonia came from Al Rabe, and Bob Hunt found it's not any good to do. Straight water. And actually, the ace bandages are not necessary either. You can just tape it to the buck. And by taping it to the buck, good evening, Gary. Thanks for the super chats, everybody, today during the meet. Very hard to see what I'm doing while I'm out there in the field. I can't see the screen, so I better get some tape on them pins. They're going to be all over the place when they hit the ground, or a rubber band. Yeah. Okay, this is hot enough now to get these flags down. Yeah, that took care of that. And a little wrinkle here. Fix that. We got that out of it. Now I'm debating whether I ought to put the silver stripe on this before or after. After probably just as easy. So what I did, if you watch the video on making the push rod, I basically got the approximate length, and I've adjusted the push rod by moving the stab back and forth just a little bit. I had to move it 1/8 of an inch to make it absolutely zero. Now this does not get glued in until this top block is glued on, because what happens is when you pull that down, it twists the fuselage. You don't think that it does, but trust me, it does. So we're just setting it up here, making sure that when these are level, those are level. So we got level there. We need to go back just a smidge. Should have used a 3/32 shim instead of the 1/8 inch shim. But we can cut it off. Just a sliver. And there's people gonna say, you can't do that. Well, I'm doing it. So that's level. There we go. Now I'm going to cut some wedges to go right here on the leading edge out of 3/8, which I had right here. Let me zip these off. Well, I can do it with my back saw. Controls are something that's really important. It's got to be, if you're going to have incidents, make sure it's positive, not negative. Let's see, it's about that much. Okay. And now need to look here. We got about 3/8 there. So that ain't no damn good. What happened here? We ain't got enough angle on it. Gotta be angled more. You can't do that. That's too much angle. What the hell's going on here? So let's do it like this. Okay. Do it like that. I cannot hit that angle tonight. I don't understand why. That's the angle. Well, I'm going to dick with this until I get it. Well, there's the angle, but it's too thick. So we'll head over to the disc sander. There's the angle, but it's too thick. A little more angle on that. Perfect. There we go. Now I need another one just like it. Now, is this the correct way to do this? No, but it will work. It'll be fine. I'm not going to glue this stab in. I'm just getting it so it's nestled in there tight. This one goes on this side, this way. This one goes on this side. A little more angle. It's on this sander for a second. Touch it. Okay, shut that off. I want that to fit tight, so I need to. This one a bit tight. It'll be fine. Okay. Thank you, John, for the super chat. We're way behind for the month. Today helped a little bit. Now, like I say, this method I'm doing here is not the correct method, but I'm doing it so it fits perfect. There'll be some purist out there going, yeah, I didn't do it right. Well, guess what? It'll be fine. So now it's locked in from going back and forth this way. And when I get the turtle deck on, I can lift it up and down for positive, negative incidence. And I can put my sticks on it this way. It still turns this way. And I'll put the sticks on it after the turtle deck's on and I get ready to glue this together. So now the next thing to do is we're going to clean that up so that doesn't look so bad. Let's take this saw here. Now I could have done the same thing, blocked it on the back half, on the trailing edge. However, the push rod wouldn't be perfect. But the way that I did this, it's now there's no screwing around with the ball links. Just glue it together and go. That should be level, and the flap should be a 0. And they are. So now let's clean this up a little bit. All right, we're good there. But now let's check the controls and see how they work. Perfect. I think it's got too much flap myself, but I put it right back together the way it was. Steve was used to flying it that way. It'll eat off what it don't want. I hope. If you guys get one of these back saws, make sure you put that plastic piece on the teeth. It's super sharp. We're going to do our turtle deck in the 16th inch method. 2 pieces of 16th glued together with white glue or tight bond. Instead of trying to a 3/32, I do my turtle decks with 3/32 because I'm looking for lightweight and I'm not worried about durability because I'm very careful with my airplanes. Just like I use double-aught silk span instead of GM or polyspan or whatever. I'm very careful, and it's accidents still happen. Poke a little hole here, then it's a disaster and you got to repair it. But I know where this is going, and I know the durability that it's going to need. So we're going to do an 1/8 inch. Now, depending on the wood that I select, I might be able to do it without water, without steaming it. Let me get rid of this. Box of Dean's connectors. And I guess we could undo this for now. I don't need to be getting myself burnt. This thing's going to be going into covering next week. Get this thing done and out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the repair stream, even though it didn't do good on the metrics. And everybody should learn how to do it. How to take a piece of junk and turn it into something nice. I'm smelling something good for dinner. Okay, we're almost back to reality. Now I had two different mold bucks that I'm going to use. I'm going to use my second choice mold buck because I think there's going to be less, even though I'll have to eyeball cut the bulkheads, there's going to be less modification that I need to do. So I set it up using this buck, but it's too tall. Of course, I don't know. That's pretty wide there. There's another buck. Plywood. Here it is. Or we can use this buck. Yeah, I think that one's going to be better. More suited. So once you build these bucks, don't throw them out, because you can modify, alter for the next airplane or a airplane of some type down the road. That includes bottom and top. Very similar to this is the June RXL bottom molded piece. I made a couple of them when I did these in Dayton. And this is going to get used on that Viper that I'm working on now. That's great, John. Thank you. Now this is a dual. You look, this is 1/8 inch. This is two pieces of 16th glued together around the buck. And it looks, well, you can see there on the end, you can tell it's two pieces. But if you look down the long ways, or on this end, it's very hard to see that it's two pieces. We use that on the remember what I showed you how to do this, how to get the rib pattern. Okay. As my buddy says, it's only wood. Get rid of this. Now we need to look for the dressmaker tape. It should be here on the bench. You know, you wouldn't think you'd use a dressmaker's tape, but it's a really valuable tool. Here it is right here. Let me move this airplane off the bench so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm thinking about building a perky. We need a piece 21 inches long. 21 inches long at one end, and it's got to have a taper in it of course it's 5 inches. If I did 4, what would happen? If I did 4, nope. Got to be 5 inches, so I got to make 5, 21, 5. 21 by 5 by 1, 2 by 2 1/4. 2 1/4. All right, so now I need to go get some wood out of the box. Yeah, I'm thinking about building a perky. I got 37 minutes in, so what's going to happen is I'm just going to get this wood cut and glued, I think. Okay, so I got some 4-inch wide 16th 5-pound wood. We need to see which stuff is the best A grain. That's pretty good. Here's a potato chip. We're going to use that. Here's a potato chip. We're going to use that. That way I don't have to use it on my airplanes. And we need a third piece. Yep, there we go. This is 11 gram 16th 4 by 36. I don't know what poundage that works out. We can check it. 11 grams. See, how many did it take? It took 1, 2, 3, 6, 12, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, there's enough here. Okay, we got enough to do that job. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 12. Yeah. I had to make sure, of course, this is potato chip wood, so I don't use stuff like this. That's in wings because it's it's potato chip. So we can mold it and glue it, and it'll be fine. So is that going to be enough? It should be. Should be. Now the second piece has to be a little bit bigger. So I got to calculate that. All right, so we need 21. Choose that. 21. Yeah, probably going to be enough. New blade. 21. Yeah. 2 inches. I only need one super clean skin because that'll be the one that's on the outside. Center line. So now we got to split this on the center line. I should have just done the whole thing. See, that's not a good seam, so we're gonna have to true up the edges on this one, both sides. Thank you, Fred. Yes, look at contests. There's a contest section on Stunt Hanger. Events. It's marked as events. And if the guys posted them, they'll be there. Well, you guys have coming in a pinch, helping me out for the metrics. We got 5 days. We didn't do anything up this month at all. I mean, way behind. Okay. So here I have all my edges screwed up. I can always depend on you guys. Okay, so there's our skin. Let me get something to glue it on so I don't stick to the table. If I got anything left. This is wax paper. Okay. Now this wax paper, make sure that if you're going to do this method, make sure that you put this wax paper on the mold. You'll end up having a catastrophic lockup where you white glue this right to the mold and you might as well throw the mold away. Let's see, 5, so it's 2.5 from each end. Always when you need it to squirt glue, it's clogged. There it is. I hope you're paying attention, Steve Berry. This is how you mold a turtle deck. Yeah. Try not to get fingers stuck to it. So we're going to do this twice. This is straight form molding. This is real simple. The compound molding is a lot more difficult, where you have to relieve the wood and add carbon veil. But it's really not that difficult once you've done it. Damn. I've shown that several times. Let me get this sander. Get this off my fingers. Let's turn on the sander. This sander makes a good CA cleaner offer too. Okay. I got it down there. This might end up being the inside skin. Matter of fact, I know it's going to be. And that's why. Come on. The glue got away from me there. That's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be a new piece of that paper. No problem, Lynn. It didn't glue on the end here, but we don't care. It'll be cut off. So let me sand this out here. Let's see. I had a sanding tools went in this one. It's 180. Yeah. That's where my fingers got stuck right there. Okay. So we want 2.5. 2.5. two, so one on each end. Two. Looks like I didn't need 3 pieces, just 2. Okie dokie, we're done. Now, as as I used to do this, we're just going to do this one. I'm going to explain how it's done. When I was molding that piece there, this piece here was molded in the bathtub. You just run only the hot water and get the water as hot as your water heater will get it, and fill up the bathtub 2 inches deep. And take your wood, take this piece here, and float it in the bathtub. Float it with the outside down so that you can see the center line that you put in it. And it's not going to go down, it's just going to stay floating. So take some of the shampoo off the edge and weight it down to the bottom. You can leave that in there 10 minutes. 10 minutes tops. This is going to be a 2-ply, so we're going to have to make another one of these. And then you just put it over your mold. Like I say, this one almost feels like I could do it dry, or I could just apply white glue, which yeah, I can. I don't even have to wet this, except for maybe down here. It feels kind of stiff. And then wrap your ace bandage around the thing and let it dry overnight. So what I'm going to do tonight, because our hour is just about over, is I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, make another one of these off camera, and I think I'm just going to use the bathtub, because dragging out the steam box just for these 2 pieces ain't worth it. So and it won't take much water because it's already good light wood. You know, it's ready to bend as is, A-grain. So you want to sand this stuff flat. Once you get it bent, you don't want to sand on it, because that'll give you the starved horse look. And tomorrow when Steve comes over, we'll pick back up where I left off on this. Because if I don't mold it and let get it drying tonight, we won't be able to glue it on tomorrow. And I want to be covering the thing by Tuesday. I want to have it out of here end of the week. So is there any questions from you guys on how to do this? And just line up your center line with the center line of your buck and just pull her down. I swear, the way this feels, I could do it dry just with glue. A little concerned back here where the bend is tight, it'll probably split, so we're going to have to yeah, it would split there. So we're gonna wet it on the end anyway. Now this next piece that goes on is going to have to be 1/4 inch bigger all the way around, because it goes over the top of this, or one's underneath. So you have to leave enough that it goes all the way down. Otherwise, you end up short. So instead of 5, it'll be 5 and instead of 5 up here, it'll be 5 and a half, and back here it'll be 2 and 2 1/4. And that'll leave you enough material. Then you cut. Hey, Jonathan Karatis, another guy that helps us out this month. You guys are saving the channel. I can smell it's about dinner time. This molding is a skill that everybody needs to learn. It's, I mean, because I ended up getting some good blocks, but don't count on good blocks. They don't exist. But you can always buy foam, be it insulation or whatever kind of foam, and make you a mold buck. This one here is just some of the RC rock wood I got. This is balsa wood on the bottom, 3/8. And then glued some foam packing on it. And then just standard their shape. Now, if you want to keep these molds in super good shape, you can take polyacrylic and paint them with polyacrylic. And then you got a hard mold. You're more than welcome. Yep, fun is on the way. I can hardly wait for Brodak. I wouldn't have test flown my new airplanes in this. I want to be comfortable when I go out. It was 61, I think, and that's. I like it 80. I mean, I'm from the desert where it's 100. I like it 80. So we got about a minute left. So any questions before I wrap it up? I need to get that thing on the scale and see what it weighs. I think it's going to be a turd. I think it'll be 60 ounces again still. There's no way around it. Powder. 0 grams. We want it in ounces. There, that's poundages, ounces. Monocoat is heavy. This particular build has confirmed my suspicion. $27.1. So 28.1. It'll be 30 ounces. 30 plus 20. I guess it'll be 50 something. I guess that's all right. It's a little airplane. Perhaps a shout out to Gary. Yes, shout out to Gary for his beautiful calendar that he's made. He wouldn't take nothing. Yeah, well, that's the kind of guy he is. It's a beautiful calendar. If you guys want one, you need to get with Gary Sinclair and send him some money. And it's nice. So if you want to get on the calendar, you got to join the Monday, Friday streams and send him a picture. Because no matter how good he is, I don't think he can make a picture of your airplane out of thin air. Of course, AI may be able to. Of course, I tried it and AI doesn't work. It's a joke. It is a stone joke. All right. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm going to make this other piece and get it glued together tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.